we heard the news that the regime of Emerson Mnangagwa was going after advocate Tendai Biti, and it's still a developing story. And what we are getting is that it appears there is intensification, especially on the organization that is led by advocate Tendai Biti, as well as also the officials, particularly CDF officials, are being targeted by the state security apparatus, including also the leader and the offices where they work. Why is Emerson Mnangagwa after advocate Tendai Biti, as well as also officials working with Tendai Biti in CDF? We'll be sharing all these details, but let me greet you and welcome you to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please don't forget to press the subscribe button. This will enable you to be able to watch us when we come through with more news and more analysis. I hope to stay longer on this desk to dissect many issues, some of them that have happened, trying to give my perspective into what is unfolding in Zimbabwe. So, according to the Zim Live, it says armed police raid Constitution Defenders Forum, officials arrested. It's a developing story. And it says armed police raided the offices of the Constitution Defenders Forum on Tuesday night and seized several items, including t-shirts and fairs. The organization said the group formed to resist attempts to amend the constitution and extend Emerson Mnangagwa's term of office beyond constitutional limits, said its director of programs for Harare, Paul Korekore, had been arrested hours earlier after police raided his home in Mare. Just after 11 p.m., armed police in 2 pickup trucks arrived at the CDF offices housed in the same building as the law chambers, the law firm of the group's leader, Tendai Biti, and confronted a guard who fled. They proceeded into the CDF office, which is on a floor above Biti's legal firm, and began seizing items of interest. CDF said it would compile a full inventory of what was taken. We strongly condemn the arrest and detention of our Harare Federal Director of Programs following an unlawful entry and search at his house by the ZRP, CDF said in a statement issued before the raid at its offices. We view this as an attempt to intimidate citizens and activists exercising their constitutional rights to freedom of expression, association, and peaceful civic participation. We call upon the police to act strictly in accordance with the law, respect due process, and immediately release him without charges. Without charge, advocating against Constitutional Amendment Bill number 3 is not a crime. We remain vigilant and resolute in defending constitutionalism and the rights of all citizens. The National Assembly passed the bill to extend the presidential term from 5 to 7 years on June 18. The constitutional amendments allow Mnangagwa to remain in power until 2030. Some 216 lawmakers voted in favor of the draft legislation, passing the 187 mark needed for a 2/3 majority. The bill is now being debated in the Senate, where it is also expected to sail through as Mnangagwa's governing ZANU-PF party controls it through traditional leaders and other proxies who generally vote with the party. Signs that Mnangagwa, 83 years old, wanted to stay in power beyond the end of his second term in 2028 emerged about 2 years ago when his supporters started chanting slogans at ZANU-PF rallies that he needed more time to complete his agenda. The party last year resolved to change the constitution to lengthen presidential terms, and the plan received cabinet backing in February. Critics says the bill is a ruse for Mnangagwa to stay in power for longer through its backers. Say it will strengthen accountability and foster political stability. The bill has faced uncharacteristically vocal opposition from the public and some independent war veterans who turned on their erstwhile ally, accusing him of power grab. So this is the story of what transpired as of yesterday. And why is Emmerson Mnangagwa after Tendai? It is quite simple. I think, as I have been giving hints, that from the look of things, it appears Advocate Tendai has chosen to work with the deep state, and I was actually recommending that because that is what is needed by opposition officials. If there was a strong opposition at this moment, it needed to align with the war veterans because they are at a need. In fact, they are at a desperate moment. They need a viable opposition at this moment in time. Seeing individuals like Professor Love Maduku also aligning with the faction of retired General Chiwenga, and that's what I call the deep state, the war veterans at this moment, because they need to stop this constitutional amendment bill number 3 of 2026, and it appears ZANU-PF also follows this channel because we've been hinting this, and that is why you see Emmerson Mnangagwa going after Tendai. He sees that there is some form of relationship that exists between BT, the war veterans, Professor Love Maduku. You saw Professor Love Maduku being targeted, beaten, and the reason for that was to discourage him from representing the war veterans. They knew that this illegal constitutional amendment bill number 3, legally it had many loopholes, and as such, Professor Love Maduku, as a constitutional lawyer, was going to expose Mnangagwa as he did. That is why they did not even allow that case to be aired live, because they knew that the people of Zimbabwe were going to see how the constitution has been manipulated by Emmerson Mnangagwa and how unconstitutional the process is, in spite of the judgment or that has been arrived at by the controlled, by the way, constitutional court judges. The judiciary system in Zimbabwe, as we always rightfully put it so, that it is captured. It's not a lie. It is common cause, it is public knowledge that the judiciary system of Zimbabwe, at its current state and form, it is captured by Emmerson Mnangagwa or any other institutions. They are captured. Even though the officials may actually see that this is the truth, the constitution is violated, no matter how, even if you hire the best world lawyer and make presentations or submissions to them, they will at all times try by all means, using any trick at law, to dismiss that particular case. And this is what we exactly saw Mnangagwa doing. And also that showed you how determined to Mnangagwa it's a matter of life and death to survive politically, and also to Zikanandas it's a matter of death and life to survive politically. I think they have shown this beyond reasonable doubt. And what is scaring Mnangagwa, one may say, but this appears to be scoring at the Senate, he appears to be scored at the National Assembly. Why is he then, why doesn't he want to do this peacefully and make the Senate to vote for him, and it's a done deal. He understands that it's not yet over. And what makes the things worse at the moment, Mnangagwa expected Knox Chivero to be talking too much. He expected actually Chiwenga at this moment to be talking too much. He expected war veterans to be talking too much and showing the direction they intend to take. That is where the desperation is coming from at the moment, going after the offices of Tendai Biti. Tendai Biti is the target, and CDF rather than the war veterans, because this is opposition per se, and so they would rather target not war veterans. War veterans understand, they know they have fought war during the liberation struggle. They have got the know-how of actually meeting fire by fire. So Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa understand this trick. That is why he would never attack them collectively or should be seen to be attacking them. The tactic that is at his disposal is actually to eliminate them one by one, as we are witnessing. We've got Matemadanda is going to the National Heroes Acre. There are many that Mnangagwa is targeting, maybe in some few weeks, if especially they do not wake up on their slumber and make a decision that this is the right time to strike, because this man will continue striking. Mnangagwa understands CAP3 is not yet over, even though his supporters are giving an impression that it is over, some going to an extent of celebrating. He understands that at this level is very, very dangerous and tricky to celebrate. So going after Tendai Biti is trying to find out what is the thinking of the war veterans at this moment in time. What is the thinking of Chiwenga at this moment in time? That is why we will see them taking gadgets. They want to find out what communication is there between CDF. They are desperate to link CDF to Chiwenga and veterans and establish exactly how they intend to respond. Following, Mnangagwa has actually taken this matter far, but so far there has been quietness, no communication. Mchena is quiet. The last time he came, he gave the last warning. So that on its own makes Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa to be scared, because it's easier knowing what your other opponent is planning, maybe through communication. In such a manner, you may be able to try and counter the other side, but it's something else when the other side is very, very quiet. They are not giving you even a clue of what they intend to do. You are in the dark, in essence. That complicates the matter, because tactically you don't know what you must do, politically, militarily, to try and defend yourself. And you don't know who is working with who. They're actually showing fewer characters. You only see fewer characters who have spoken. For example, Mnangagwa doesn't know who is part of the generals. He doesn't have the full number of the generals. They are fronting Mchena. And I think it's done, it's a strategy. When you look at Mchena, you may undermine him. His age is very, very old at the moment. Taking on Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa may say, this one is easy to deal with him. He's too old. The old man, his old age is taking toll on him. Just like Blessed Keza, he was undermined because someone would look at his age and say, the age is taking toll on this man. It's an easy target. But the thing, he doesn't know the backing behind these individuals. So it doesn't make him to sleep, by the way, though seemingly quiet, though seemingly actually scoring. But in his inner man, this man is highly troubled at this moment in time, because maybe Chiwenga is advancing secretly, but surely, because his strategies remains unknown. The likes of Opetimpof, they have just decided to keep quiet. They are not saying anything. No one is giving Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa the clues that he wants, That is why he's deciding to use these state security apparatus. But is this strategy going to enable them to extract information? It depends on whether the CDF, in terms of information, they were not being careful. But I see they have got ICT experts, people who understand the technology very, very well. Does then ZANU-PF have within their systems individuals who could meet their match? It remains to be seen. But that is the reason why this desperate regime is targeting Tendai Biti CDF, and has targeted in the past individuals like Professor Love Momatuku. They may also still do so. And they cannot at the moment go directly to war veterans. They understand the risk, what is at stake, especially if they decide to take that particular route. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please don't forget to subscribe so that when I come through in seconds, in minutes, in hours, you will be the very first one to watch us. You can also financially support this channel. Let me thank those who are doing so, because I see they are ladies and gentlemen who are supporting this channel so that it keeps on doing its work and advancing by being part of the members, and also some who are sending stars. All is welcomed. And in no time you will see numerous advancements. I can tell you there are a lot of developments that are being done around this office. Thank you very much once again. Okancubo Mhlabane is signing off. Let me and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more. Okay, let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more. What is happening with my gadgets this time around? I hope it will cut off. Thank you very much.